Yesterday was the regular monthly meeting of United Laguna Hills Mutual, and joining us today, Mr. Ron Veldner, the president of United Mutual. Well, as we heard from you last week, the results of the 1 month of voting on the changes in the bylaws and the occupancy agreement, unfortunately for your side of the debate, was defeated last week. You have not given up on that subject, though. You're going to regroup and take another tack on it, perhaps with a little less paper being sent out to the residents. Maybe it'll make it a little simpler.
Right. Under the state statutes, we're supposed to, as of last week, shut down all replacement of all appliances and all interior maintenance that we used to do. What the board has decided to do is make one quick try, and we only have this one opportunity to do it. And what we're going to do is we're going to send out on September 28th to all the members of United a new bylaw and occupancy agreement. Only one section and only on one issue, and that will be the appliances. As you know, there are discrepancies between the occupancy agreement, which says the members are supposed to be responsible, and the bylaw agreement, which says the mutual is responsible. So what we're going to send everybody is a little teeny, small little paragraph that says this is the bylaw that we want to change these 3 words. This is the occupancy. We're going to change that word from member to mutual. And all they're going to do is vote yes or no on that one small thing. Now that goes out the 28th. It comes back on October 29th. October 31st, they're going to be counted. If for some reason that fails, the new board, right on that day at the end of the election, has to terminate all services. They have no other option.
So again, you boiled down something that was many pages in length and a lot of communication, both sides of that debate yesterday. A lot of people expressing their viewpoint, maybe that it wasn't communicated effectively or didn't have enough time or whatever. This is going to be much simpler, again, dealing with just a one issue. And of course, the elephant in the room that everybody keeps talking about is this 6-month rental issue, which is not a part of that discussion.
No.
So it's a completely separate issue, but it's been, shall we say, combined in with these other matters.
That is correct. The people from the Protect Property Values were there yesterday, and they have made a commitment to help get this passed.
Ah, good.
So that, because they understand that I wouldn't want to be the president on October 31st of the United Mutual, because then I have to say, okay, everybody, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Now, until we can redo everything again, which could be 6 months down the road.
We might say that there will be a new president of United next year, because you are going to be leaving the board. Elections are going on right now. In fact, the boxes are down there for both Third Mutual and United at the front desk. People can still mail them in at this point, but to be really safe, bring it down, put it in the box yourself is a good, safe way to do that. Again, you're going to use an outside counting company, and you'll be having your annual meeting coming up early in October. So people will have a chance to meet with you. In fact, you're having it actually on the day and time of your regular monthly meeting for October. You'll be meeting at that same time, but you'll be meeting at Clubhouse number 3.
Right. At that time, we will then switch the boards at that point. The new board members will be coming in. We will give a report. I'll give an annual report of what has happened in the past year within United. And I think people will be very happy when they hear what is going on and what we have already set in motion for the next year.
A lot of people have been attending the meetings and are trying hard to understand the relationship between Golden Rain Foundation, the mutual corporations, PCM, all the interrelationships here. One thing that's getting discussed quite a bit at both your meetings as well as at Third is the possibility of having formal representation at the Golden Rain during their closed sessions. Obviously, the open sessions are open to everybody in the community. When they go into closed session, just like when your board goes into closed session, it's your directors, selected staff members, maybe an attorney, and you discuss matters that can appropriately be discussed in closed session. Some have requested that maybe that would be an appropriate place for an official representative or two from United to also attend those meetings of GRF.
The GRF bylaws are changed by the 3 corporations, the housing corporations. And last year we voted to allow 2 members from United, 2 from Third, and 1 from Mutual 50 to attend those closed sessions. And we did it again this year when they redid the bylaws because they wanted to change it back and cancel that out. In our meeting yesterday, we stated that we would not be attending. It was decided that out of respect for their privacy, that we should not attend their meeting in a closed session. Because what is to keep them from saying, oh, we want to come into your closed sessions? And then all of a sudden stuff goes back and forth. And the people who will be going to their closed session have to sign confidentiality agreements. But then in signing that, what can they actually bring back to the board? They cannot talk in those meetings, they cannot say anything, and then they have to bring it back. So that creates other situations. So we said, let's leave it go the way it's been going.
All right. You formally yesterday approved the 2013 business plan replacement and the budget program. You've worked really, really hard on that since the spring, trying to get the service levels to stay the same with a minimum cost increase. When it was all said and done, how did you finally come out at the end of the tube on that one?
We are very pleased to announce to the community that United is only going to go up 25 cents. We're still going to take care of everything. We're not cutting one single service. And in fact, we worked with the GRF, and the GRF is only going to go up 65 cents. So next year, we will be going up 90 cents in United, and we're going up from $319.71 in United to $19.96. And with the total package, with their 65 cents, United will be at $528.36. Plus, then you pay your taxes on top of that.
Right, and any mortgage or whatever else you might have.
And that is probably one of the lowest increases in the last 20 years here.
Obviously, the residents do like to have the services that you provide here. They also want to get it at the minimum cost. So it's not an easy decision, a lot of talking, a lot of meetings. And as the case this year, and will be the case next year, those meetings, by and large, most of them are open. So residents can come in starting in the spring, make their input known for versions 1 and versions 2 when the changes get made. And of course, you've got several people running for the board now. They'll be part of that decision-making process next year. And again, that voting is going on right now, and it's pretty lively. I understand we've got a lot of interest. Already we're hearing some reports that some people aren't still signing the envelopes correctly, so some of those ballots may not count. Some people are saying they didn't get a ballot, so all those matters need to get ironed out as well.
Well, we're working very hard. One of the things that came in, usually in an election, we have from 1 to 3 people who don't fill in the circles or they don't sign. This year, we had over 100 ballots come in where people didn't put a thing in the circles, and where the words were, they marked all kinds of X's, they marked squares on them, they didn't sign their envelopes, and therefore we can't count them. And this creates a situation because a couple ballots can be the difference between somebody getting elected or not, or a certain thing like the bylaws and occupancy agreement passing and not. This is very interesting about the budget is that everybody thinks because we're in a recession, everything goes down. It's actually the opposite. Because business drops, people are raising their prices on what they do. Contractors who used to put in the costs of all the permits and hauling away your stuff, the construction material, are now putting those as separate line items and making you pay for them. Everything is going up, and to be able to do the same thing that we were doing and not put in 1 quarter a month, that's immaterial money. Right.
Sounds like the board did a good job, worked really hard on doing that. Again, we want to remind you folks to get your ballots in for the directors. The new voting on that one item in the bylaws and occupancy agreement will be coming out later this month. And you'll have the month of a good portion of October to vote on that one. And then we want to urge everybody to attend the annual meeting, which will be 1 month from yesterday. That will be on Tuesday, October the 8th, and that meeting will be held at Clubhouse 3, not here in the boardroom, but we will televise it live here on Channel 6 as well. But I know you'd like people to be there in person. It's always nice to look out at some faces as opposed to looking out at empty chairs.
That's correct.
So that'll be good. Well, we want to thank you. You've been with us for a year now on this, and this is kind of your last hurrah. We might see you come back in October for one more visit and maybe bring in the new president to introduce to us if you're available that morning.
We will do it, and I want to thank you. And I also say it was kind of a shock to hear you're retiring. Because if we ever had to put somebody on a poster for this place, it would have to be you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Ron. We'll see you next month. And again, folks, be sure you vote for those elections, and a lot going on in United. Thanks for being with us today. We'll continue on with more local news as our program continues for you here on Channel 6.